create spaces where people who are talented can get the opportunities they deserve to thrive. That somehow became my Jerusalem. The promotion till today is because of dancing Jerusalem. How do you create opportunities as still the people who typically not have opportunities because of either experience given to them, their nationality, what side of family given to, or what their counterparts given. And so that reflects and that will pour a lot of energy into it. So that's what we want. Then the way apparently people that have been promotion in place. And I have been focusing more on promotion than anywhere else. A lot of people think that, wow, like you lack ambition. Why would you stay in promotion when there is all of the world? You see, one of the things I've discovered as well in living your world is that if you spread yourself too thin at the beginning of your journey, you have no strength of, how do I call it, no compelling strength of what you stand for that makes people pause and pay attention to. If you are spread too thin, okay, I know that, how do I explain it now? I know that we're in the digital world, right? And so there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, and people kind of like push for following on those platforms. In a way, it's a good thing, but much more important, you need to connect your work to a place, to a specific place. And I'll tell you why that matters. You see, myself and a mentor of mine were in Lagos recently. And as we stepped, so how many people don't pay staff? You obviously should not pay staff. How many people have done transactions to pay staff before? Okay, so we went to their office in Lagos. We're having an event. And as we stepped into the office, the person who welcomed us was somebody who passed through Innovate Lab years ago. And so that mentor of mine saw the way the young man's face lit up and he came to hug me. He was so excited. And then we were like, do you know him also? I said, yes, he passed through Innovate Lab. The shock on his face was like, I know people everywhere. The idea is that he sees people that have gone through the lab or who were in the promotion at some point, and when they see me, they are so excited to see me. In fact, before that event was over, 2 other people showed up. Now, we were just about 25 people in the room. And then 3 people knew me in that room. Like, what were the odds that within a sample size of 25, you had at least 3 people doing it? The 2 other people did not know me directly, but they had heard about what I was doing with the promotion. They had listened to some of the things I had done. And so they came and they were so excited. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the tendency for you is to run away from the hard work of locating your work in a certain place. The tendency for everyone in our generation is to actually locate their work, maybe digitally, but you need a place. So I know that Dan, branches worldwide, started in Worcester, right? Why? And one of the things I heard, I was in a car with Femi, right? And we were going to I wanted to get a shade. And then Femi was telling me that the reason why branches was able to take off very fast was because a lot of people knew you in that locality, in that community, and so they could trust him and they could support what he was doing. A lot of times, the reason why people do not get the right kind of support for the work they do is because people don't know you. They've not seen your impact in the community you live in. And so that's a very important thing. Alright? Then the next one is who are the Jerusalem? Now the who will be a tribe, a cluster of people who can recognize you. Who are able to say, we know what this person's life is about. We know what this person is doing. I can't count the number of people who have talked about it to me. And then the next thing is, people reach out to me and say, hey, this person told me about you and they want me to do. Can we have some time to talk? And it's simply because there are people that you commit yourself to, that you keep pouring into over and over and over again. Next time. Alright, so if you have found your Jerusalem, so you know the progression is Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and then what? the ends of the earth. So you start from Jerusalem and then you get to the ends of the earth. Now, thank you. Now, in leading your world, the next thing you have to now understand is that after you discover the what, the where and the who, you have to now invest time and intentionality. Time and intentionality. Because that's what leads to mastery and that's what leads to you standing out in your world. Okay, so this is, how many people know AUG? Now, AUG has been helping people get glasses for a while, right? AUG glasses. The interesting thing is that quite a number of people already know after that. I mean, like if you know how because of our glasses, can you let me see on it? Oh, there are quite a lot of people that know her because of what? Of our glasses. Now, the interesting thing is that she has spent some time investing in learning about glasses. But do you know that that niche can soon stand her out and then she begins to send people globally? Okay. And I want to show you how you can actually do that. So time and intentionality. Next slide. So how do you act time? So here is a I'm going to use as an example. You know, the previous slide talked about the 10,000 hour rule, right? How that if you want to gain mastery in something, you have to spend like 10,000 hours. But the person who did the research that Gladwell took the idea from said it's not actually about 10,000 hours. It's not really about the time, but how much intentionality you put into practicing that. So he came up with deliberate practice. It is deliberate practice over a period of time that gives you mastery. So now go back. Alright. So imagine that Angel wants to scale this and she becomes a leading, maybe not optometrist, but a leading supplier of glasses in Nigeria or in Africa. Typically, if you have to spend 10,000 hours to pursue something, it almost equates to 10 years, right? Like that means you have spent about 20 hours per week practicing that stuff. And then that means it might take about 10 years to actually get to mastery. But do you have 10 years? Do you have 10 years? Right now, I don't feel I have 10 years. I have time, but I don't feel I have 10 years for some things. So what I usually look for is, what are the shortcuts that I can take that leads me to the same destination without me having to spend the same amount of time? And so these three help you understand how you can act, how you can reduce the amount of time you spend to gain mastery on something. And the first is mentorship and coaching. Mentorship and coaching. If you want to make speed or make progress speedily with anything, you need to get a mentor or a coach. And the reason why you need a mentor or a coach is that they've been there, they've done that. So they know what it is that you're trying to do. So let me give you a very good example. I was in the US and I was going to try to raise money for a program. And I put together my slides for that, for speaking to people. But then I subjected the slides to two people. So they looked through the slides and I'm like, why don't you put this way? Why don't you this figure you put, it might make you feel like it is too much. Just take this figure, break it into bits, and tell people that this is all you need to just pay attention to. And so that person said, the sequence of your slides do not look like the best sequence you could have. Now, bring this to the front, take this to the back. And before I was done with all those presentations, I basically unlocked about $60,000 in commitments. Just because I had people who were able to tell me, do this first, do this way, do this that way. If I had done it the way I wanted to do it, maybe I was still trying to raise the money right now. And you get the picture. But because I had people that were able to hold my hand, it led to me achieving what I needed to achieve faster. So, if a Jew was to try to get to sell a glasses, what kind of mentors do you think she needs? Anybody can guess? Anyone? Are you trying to say something? Somebody else raise their hand. Did you raise your hand? Can you just project? People that are something similar, right? Exactly. You may need to go find, so there is this company called Manufacturer. It's an American company. But you may need to find people in Nigeria who have done something similar to that and ask them that how the Manufacturer group don't just the typical seller of glasses. They were also selling glasses. But there was a distinction to how they sold glasses that made them like a household group. And then people wanted to actually get Manufacturer brands instead of the typical brands. Or Tom shoes. How many people know Tom shoes? So how the Toms become a household name? They said, buy one and donate one pair of shoes. And the next thing, people, because they wanted to do good, people said buy Tom shoes just because of that impact. If I buy one pair of shoes, this company will give a pair of shoes to someone that doesn't have. Go viral. And people started buying. Mentors like that can show you what you can do, that can press. But what does a coach do to you? How many people watch the recent tennis match between Coco Golf and the other lady? Okay, not so much tennis fans here. Coco Golf actually won that match, won that tournament because she kept her emotions under control. The other lady who is the number one in the world was already riled up. She was like, her emotions overwhelmed her. But I can assure you that it was coaching that helped Coco Golf keep her emotions under control. Her parents had coached her, her coach had coached her, and then her team had coached her. There are times that coaching, so I was coaching someone about some months ago. So this person is actually a coach. She coached me. So now she came to me to coach her so that she could be better. And then I began to coach her, and then there was a particular day she was giving me feedback that the things you taught me, I've applied them with my own clients, and the results are amazing. Now, if she had gone to read about those things by herself, it would have taken her a longer time to actually get those. So, to act time in mentorship and coaching, come to service and money. A lot of people don't like to serve, but there are some things you would never know until you serve. If you see somebody doing something in the direction you want to go, ask them, can I volunteer? Is there any area you need anyone to help out? Can I plug in? So let me give an example. So there's this young lady who is helping me with some of the things I do. So one day I told her, I said, do you know why this is very important for you to actually like put all your heart to it? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to try to move faster. So I asked her, do you know why it's very important for you to put everything you have into this thing? I said, because actually in your future, I see you doing exactly the same thing. So as you do these things now, you are actually getting equipped for when you have to do it for yourself. And that kind of like change the dynamics of our work together. Service is very important if you want to shorten time. In fact, I remember I had a mentor, Mrs. We were to put together an event in Indonesia in 2017. And then you know what she did? She wired all the money we need into our account. She traveled to the US and told me,